After reviewing the tape yesterday, I was really pleased with our team's effort on Saturday against Hawaii. You get into the middle of a season, I guess certain people wonder if guys are motivated to play, and I think clearly our guys were. Offensively, we scored 6 touchdowns and 8 first-half possessions. A few of those were set up because our defense did a great job getting takeaways and then getting some short fields after some 3-and-out drives and doing just a good job there. So was pleased in the second half. We got a chance to play a lot of players. Kind of rested our starters for the most part, which is good because going into this week, we know our hands are going to be full going up to Reno. We haven't won up there in a while. Playing an excellent University of Nevada team. Offensively, they are really, really tough. I believe they're averaging about 260 yards of passing, 260 rushing. So, that balance is really, really difficult to try to defend. I believe they're top 10, maybe number 8 in the country in total offense. We know our hands are going to be full, so it's nice to go into the week, though, knowing that we control our destiny in the league again. We hadn't had that in a few weeks, so we're excited about the prospect of hopefully keeping it that way, that we'll continue to control our own destiny. With that, any questions?
Did you get to watch any of the San Diego State Boise game?
Yes, I did. I saw most of the second half. Wasn't, real surprised. We knew San Diego State had a quality team. I thought they did a great job, especially defensively, and made some plays in the kicking game to make the difference. And to go through any league is very, very difficult to go through undefeated, and I think it just talks about the quality of our league that anybody on any given Saturday can beat any team.
What is it that you remember most, take most from your time at Nevada a couple of years ago?
I was really grateful for the opportunity to learn from a Hall of Fame coach like Coach Alt. Really got a feel for how he handles a football team. His tenacity pervades through the team. Very, very strong character guy. And he wills his team to win. And I just really like that about him. And he was very good to me and my family, and I appreciate what he and Kathy did for my family.
They were just kind of in the early stages of the pistol offense, if I'm correct, when you were coaching there. Mm-hmm. How much has that offense changed, you think?
It really changed from 2005 when Coach first started looking at it. They weren't sure how deep they wanted to line the quarterback up. We had a quarterback back then, Jeff Rowe, was really more of a drop back guy. And we really kind of ran mostly our traditional one-back offense, but Coach wanted to have a downhill running presence to be able to run the inside zone more north-south, to be able to run our power play downhill and still be in the gun, because when you're in the gun and the back's offset, it's more of an east-west type of a play. And so it was more of a traditional offense. As the years went on, I think especially when they got Colin Kaepernick there, they realized that it also lent itself to running some option football and doing some things very similar to what New Mexico does in getting people in unbalanced formations and making them gap sound, option responsibility sound. And that's really when this offense has exploded. If you don't play your gap responsibility and your option responsibility, they can break some big plays. And Colin Kaepernick clearly did that for a number of years. And Fajardo's now has taken up the call, and he's doing a great job with it as well.
In your time there, did you see some visiting teams this time of year, night game, that appeared to struggle adjusting to the conditions there?
Yeah, I think it was one time in 2005 we played a team late in the year and it was cold.
What team was that, Coach?
I forget. It's a difficult place to play. We looked at the weather forecast. It's going to be chilly. We've played in that condition before. That's something we'll address with our team. And if you want to win a league championship, you got to win on the road, and you're going to have different conditions. The Colorado team had to come here and play when it's 107 degrees. That's our advantage. When you go on the road and you play when it's cold, somebody else is more used to that possibly. So it is what it is, and our guys just have to deal with it. They're playing in it too, so it's just a matter of mind over matter. You don't mind, it doesn't matter. So.
Is
One
there
of the things that came out in that game that you referenced that people seem to latch onto was that Fresno State didn't have any heaters on its sideline. Are you guys going to have heaters there Saturday night?
We plan on having them. Hopefully they'll show up, but yeah, we plan on having them.
Is there a different feel from this week compared to last week? You're tied for first. Is there a different kind of message to the team? Hey, now we're tied for first. Let's amp it up.
Yeah, there's a couple different messages. Obviously, when you play a team that struggled like Hawaii's has, there's your challenge is to play to your standard and not play down per se. And I think our guys handled that. We know now we're playing an excellent team in Nevada, a team that was picked at the top of our conference, has played for the most part like that. And then the fact that we got some help on Saturday night to put us right back into the conference race. I expect that our guys will be really juiced at practice today because they know, with 2 games left, we control things. So our message will be slightly different, but all they got to do is turn on the tape and realize our hands are going to be full.
Coach, you've stretched getting turnovers to win games this season. How are you going to do that going against Nevada's offense since they're so well balanced, off and rushing and passing? How are you going to get turnovers?
We do it the same way we do it each and every week. We talk about having, being physical, having a purpose when you get there, playing with just great population where you have fanatical effort to the ball, so you got multiple people there. Those are the kind of things that make the difference. And when you do a great job of film study, you can play a little bit faster. At this point of the season, I think our guys understand our package, so we'll play faster, hopefully, and then just physically, getting after people. So it's the same message every week. I think our team's improved each week, and hopefully we'll play that much faster and that much more physical. And we need to turn the fanaticism up this week to make sure we get enough guys to the ball. If it's on the ground, we'll get it.
You talked about the New Mexico game kind of being a game where you can have some carryover and how you guys play defense there. The defensive performance against New Mexico, are you pleased with that, or is there concerns because of
No, they ran for like 300 in the first half on us, so we weren't pleased with that. Clearly we had some issues with option responsibility. I think we addressed those in second quarter and got guys straightened out. We need to do a better job coaching our responsibilities, and clearly if you don't, Nevada's capable of embarrassing you because they do a really good job of formationing you and finding out your weakness and exploiting that. But yeah, I do believe there's some carryover from an option responsibility standpoint that I think our guys realize the importance of being sound every single snap.
This game will be highlighted by the 2 running backs and, Rouse and then Stephon Jefferson. How exciting is this going to be between arguably the 2 best in the conference?
Well, I think it's nice for the fans. It gives the game a little bit of flair, but I think both offenses are balanced enough that you can't just take away the running game. You can do that at your own peril. That's going to be one of the, things people talk about all week. He's definitely an excellent back, and with their package, their system, it's difficult to defend him, and he does a good job with it. We'll need to tackle him well, and I feel confident that depending on what they do defensively, Robbie will get his yards, or if not, if they're going to load up on him, then we'll throw the ball.
Do you see, I don't know how much film you've been watching through past weeks for Nevada, but it just seems like the opponents that they've been playing, like Air Force and stuff like that, they've been keying on Stephon a little bit more. Is that something that you're going to address more too as well? See your number 1 guy you're looking out at?
I don't know that they've been keying on him more. Clearly, he's been defended better the last couple weeks. It's something that when you're playing triple option football, someone's got to be responsible for the dive, someone's got to be responsible for the quarterback, someone's got to be responsible for the pitch. And so they'll not just do that, they'll hand the ball on directed runs, whether it's the counter or the inside zone. Those clearly you're going to be focused on him, but it's that mixer when they mix the option in that you can't just focus on him. our guys know about him, and they know that they better play well, get multiple guys to the ball.
He's one of several guys on Nevada's team that's from this area. How big of an impact does this game have on what you're going to be doing, over the next few months in recruiting?
Well, I think players want to go where they're going to have success on the field and success in the classroom. And clearly when you play what's been, the last few years, one of the top teams in the Western Athletic Conference and now the Mountain West Conference, it's kind of a showdown game. And a lot of times, players make that decision on where they think the direction of that team's going. Where do I have a better chance of having success and winning? And so clearly when you go head-to-head, it makes a difference. I know Nevada's had a recruiter out here that's done a really good job in the Valley. And I don't know, how much they truly went head-to-head, whether they decided that guy fit their system, but more than we did. But they've got some really good players from the Valley, and we need to keep them here. So we're going to start here in our evaluation, and winning Saturday obviously will help us in that goal of keeping those guys here at Fresno.
Have you talked to Victor since his surgery?
I have. He was a little groggy yesterday, but he's a little sore. But docs thought that the surgery went very, very well. Anecdotally, he said that it's better that this happened with the leg injury to his broken bone as opposed to his knee. They think his recovery time will be less because of that. So that part we're excited about, but clearly we're going to lose him for the year.
Does Josh Harper, is he going to be able to get back this week?
We hope so. We'll see. He re-injured his groin last week. Was making progress until then, and anytime you have those strains, it's a matter of dealing with pain and can you go full go, because you're also going to be susceptible to re-injury.
Do you bring up to the team this week that Nevada has won the last 4 meetings?
I bring it up every time we have some situation like that, just like last week. I think as a player, you need to be prideful in realizing that if somebody's had your number, and it gives you that much more motivation to go out there and change it. That's something we have direct effect on, as opposed to inheriting something. Saturday we can change things, so you don't have that conversation anymore. And to do it on the road is going to be difficult, but we've proven that we can win on the road. It's just going to be a tall task this week.
We saw Martez Waller for a sustained drive in the first half this week, maybe getting some. I don't know if the game was in question at that point, but getting, it seems like a larger volume of carries when the game maybe matters a little bit more. What have you seen in his progress this year?
Well, we're really happy with what he's done here. I mean, he's a true freshman. He's playing high school football a year ago. He runs very physically. He missed a game and a half or a couple games, with kind of a minor injury, but something that nagged where he couldn't play. So we wanted to get him involved more, because he's gotten better each week. And when you can do that and develop your depth, if you have an injury to one of your starters, you're not scrambling. And I think Coach Schramm and our offense staff do a good job with trying to get multiple guys in the game so that it's not a drastic of a fall back if you lose a starter.
How big was it to make sure that the starters were out in the second half? It was kind of almost not a bye week, but it kind of seemed.
Well, I think it was important, when you can get done what we did in the first half, and every time you go on that field, you risk injury. And so when you don't have to go out in the second half and still can control the football game, I think it was good. We haven't had a bye this year so far, so having guys limited reps, I think helps.
Did you see Jeremiah Toma that was appearing to be 100% to you?
He's getting closer. He's playing better and better each week, which we anticipated. When he first came back, he hadn't played in about 6 or 7 weeks. So even though physically he was ready to go, he's just really, really rusty. And so he's gotten better each week. We need him to, because this is a big-time challenge for our defense, and we need our guys as close to 100%, not just physically, but playing at 100%.
Who moves up in your depth chart now? Victor out, and Josh may not go. That receiver, who moves up?
We'll move some guys around. Isaiah will probably be playing a couple of different positions, and then Justin will probably be playing. Johnson will be playing a little bit more.
You get creative, you know, you've had great blocks and catch passes. Dylan caught that touchdown pass. Your running backs getting involved, your tight ends a little bit more.
Yeah, like I said, I think Dave's done a really good job of getting multiple guys involved, and we'll have to do a little bit more of that this week. We'll have to be creative with our personnel groupings, and guys like IB will have to move around a little bit, and he's smart enough. We want to get our playmakers the ball in space, and you'd love to have the same starting 11 the entire season, but that's not reality, so you just deal with it.
You see a guy like Derek Carr, he's having Heisman-like numbers this year. Are you praying he's not thinking about the NFL?
I don't pray about that. I pray about a good friend of mine. His son's up in a hospital in Oakland right now, and he's going through a tough time right now. But no, Derek's doing great. He is really doing a good job leading our guys, and I hope he gets all the accolades he can. We're gonna talk after the season. Hopefully Coach Chow won't get to him first, and we'll have a discussion about what he needs to do for his future.
You talked after the Boise game about everybody on offense trusting that everyone else on offense was going to do what they should be doing. Have you seen now that you have your next big road challenge progression in that?
I think so. I think when we went to New Mexico, we got punched in the nose. When you don't trust, guys start scrambling. They start running their own foxholes, and we didn't do that. We locked arms, came out, and kept fighting, and had success doing it. And so I think that was a good test for us. And I think we'll clearly face some adversity this week. Going into Nevada, weather will be tough. Playing a good Nevada team is going to be really tough. They'll make some plays. We'll have to make plays. And when you can trust each other that someone's going to make plays, we'll just keep chopping wood and doing what we do. I think our guys, the more you do it, the more faith you have, and clearly the last couple of weeks our guys have done that.
Is there any specific challenge for the offensive line this week that makes this game unique for them?
Yeah, they're going to put up with Coach Norcross this whole week. I think he's going to be pretty fired up.
Anything from Nevada's defensive front?
No, they're physical. They do a good job. They're very active. I think you look at the last 4 years, they've done a great job defending us and just playing extremely hard in this game. They know the stakes in this game. I don't know if they can control their destiny 100%, but if they were to knock us off and knock Boise off, they got a chance to still win this conference. They're going to probably have to get some help. They're going to need somebody to beat San Diego State, but they're not out of this thing. So they know they will be if they lose us this week. So it's kind of an elimination game for them.
What is it that Jefferson's doing that you see on film that maybe a little different in his line? Is it just he's getting old? He's older. He sees things a little differently.
Well, he's got good burst, good vision, good balance. He breaks tackles, and he can run away from people. So it's going to be a challenge. He's been running that offense for a while, and anytime you have that, you've got that comfort zone of knowing where things are going to open up, and he does a good job of exploiting the holes that he has.
How many times will you talk with Chris Alt this week?
We don't talk on a weekly basis, but so I doubt I'll talk to him before the game, other than when we get out to Reno. But he's done a great job there. I really respect what he's done, and very appreciative of the opportunity he gave me. But Saturday night we'll have to maybe be crossed for about 3.5 hours, and then afterwards shake his hand, no matter how it goes.
Is this like the student trying to beat the teacher?
Maybe, if that's what you guys want to portray it as, but to me it's about our guys playing their guys and just trying to win a football game and stay in first place.
Saturday night after your game, did you kick back, put a San Diego State hat on?
I didn't put a San Diego State hat on because I don't have one, but I was cheering for him. Had an adult beverage and was a little bit loud.
How big is it to win the next two games in order to
Well,
help your cause and control your destiny?
Yeah, clearly. They're huge. That's what's neat about getting into November, having the ability to control your own destiny. Shoot, we win Saturday. Now the next game becomes that much more important. So the Air Force game doesn't matter if we don't win on Saturday. It's where you want to be in November. You want to be playing for a championship in November, and I thought before the season started we had a team that was capable of it, and it's fun to see. We're at that point now where it's within our grasp.
Is the mindset to win the game in front of you?
That's how it is every week.
I know you faced San Diego State with Escobar, but the way Nevada uses Sudfeld and even Arenzi in the passes, is that a different kind of challenge for your defense because their tight ends are so athletic and big?
Yeah, they've got some really good size there. You go back to the Air Force game, I don't know how many passes he caught, but he's a big-time target. Conversion downs, they really look at him. So you've got to obviously be aware of him in the passing game. He does a good job blocking at the point of attack because he's got big size. I know Coach Alt likes to get in a package where they have a couple tight ends and they'll run their slice stuff, their slice option and divide zone, and then the play action pass game off of it makes it difficult because they run the ball so well. If they didn't run the ball well, it's easy to play action pass, but they do a great job running it, so it puts your guys in that run pass conflict. We're aware of Sudfeld and Coach Toth and the guys will have a plan.
What are the chances of you guys getting Andy Jennings back for this week?
Hopefully good. He's been getting treatment all weekend. He's chomping at the bit to play. He won't practice today. We'll see the rest of the week.
How have Hunt and Letcher performed?
I thought Todd's made some strides. He had that sack and forced fumble last week, which was good for him. He's still, a little rusty, which is understandable. He only went through half a spring and didn't go through fall camp. Really, he couldn't go live or anything. So he's getting better every week. Ben's making progress, not as fast as we'd like, but he's making progress, and we're happy we have him because if we didn't, we'd be in trouble. So he's getting his opportunity. He needs to step up and keep progressing, and Coach Germano will push him to do that.
Is there a particular, what's basically the key to stopping the pistol offense? I know it's about, staying, assignment sounding and everything, but is there a particular position that really lends itself to being the playmaker to stop this offense?
I don't think so. To me, I think it starts with the run. Even though they're very, very balanced, if you can get them into, for an offense, less than manageable second downs and third downs, you've got a chance. But with their offense, they're capable of, racking off an 8-yard run, second down and 2, you're in trouble. Because they're going to just keep mashing you or play action you and, get some big plays. So we got to play good first and second down defense, especially against the run. And we'll have to react to play action pass, but if you're playing pass and they're just gashing you, it's going to be a long day. So you got to start with the run.
At the beginning of the season, you said that you wanted to see at least 20 takeaways. You're at 26 now. Are you surprised by that, or you're like, hey, yeah, that's right where we should have been?
I don't know if surprise is a word. Our goal each year is 30, and because we only had 9 a year ago, I thought, is this going to be realistic for a guy? So I said, hey, we got to get at least 20 on our way to 30. So I think Coach Toth and our defense staff have done a great job of emphasizing takeaways, teaching our guys how to get takeaways, teaching and preaching fanatical effort so that when the ball's on the ground, there's more of our guys there. All of that, has been taught and incorporated by our defense at a really fast rate. And so, surprise is the word. Pleasantly pleased, I guess, would be the best way to describe it.
Coach, this is kind of uncharted waters for your guys. Not a lot of experience being in first place this late in the season. What do you tell your guys this week to just relax, not be uptight, and not really think about that so much this week? Just play football.
I don't know that guys worry about pressure of first place. To me, it's just it gets the juices flowing at practice. That hey, we got a great matchup this weekend. Let's prepare because if we can take care of business Saturday, it just makes that next one more important. There's no added pressure. We just know that we've got a standard we got to play at. We got to practice at. And we do that, things take care of themselves.
Anything else for Coach?